Hello, I didn't plan on making an episode on today's walk. It's just that it's been quite a while since I last did a podcast, and I thought it might be nice just to give an update on what's been happening over the summer. I don't have long today to go walking, but I managed to get out to a local walk that I've done many times. It's really more of a daily stroll than an actual hike. I've parked at the RSPB Nature Reserve at Fairburn Ings, and I'm walking to the village of Ledsham and then into the Yorkshire Wildlife Trust Reserve at Ledsham Bank. I may then just simply turn around and go back, but as I was walking along the track from the reserve towards Ledsham, I felt compelled to share what a beautiful morning it is. When I started the podcast proper earlier this year, I had hoped it would be weekly, at least monthly. Unfortunately, I've had quite a long gap over the summer. There's a buzzard. There's actually two. There's one flying away and there's one in the trees to my left. Wondering if possibly there's a nest there. I can hear it, but I can't see it. I'll keep moving so as not to disturb it. I think the best time for this reserve is possibly late spring. There are lots of orchids and lots of different wildflowers. And there still are, but they're hidden amongst the tall grass. I've reached the top of the reserve and turned round. I'm now walking down the left-hand side of the valley with a woodland adjacent to a wire fence. Although it's dry now, it's very humid, and whenever you get anywhere near trees, there's the constant dripping from the earlier rain as it percolates from the canopy and down through the trees to the woodland floor. Likewise, in this grass area, the ground seems to be dry, but the grass and plants are sodden with water, which makes my lower half look as if I've been stood in a shower. I'm now heading back down to the village. I'm back in Ledsham village now and sitting in the churchyard of its ancient church, enjoying a cup of tea. It's one of my favourite places to pause and reflect when I'm in this area. The church is the oldest building in West Yorkshire, one of the oldest in the whole region, with parts of it dating from the 800s. It's set on a slight hill. With a road running round the lower perimeter. I've actually made it into Ledsham Church, which on every other occasion that I've visited has been closed. It's a beautiful old church. And absolutely silent inside. Some lovely stained glass, and hard to imagine really that people have been walking through the doors for something like 1,200 years. This is a lovely area to walk in, whether you want a short hour, 2-hour walk or a whole day. Mine's only a short walk, so I'm heading back to the bird reserve. But I've taken a slightly different route. Rather than going straight out and straight back, I've headed out of the village from the church on the road for a short distance that takes you to Ledsham and then on to Kippax. I've got about half a mile of road walking, but it's fairly quiet. Before I turn left and take a path through fields back to the reserve. There are lovely hedgerows at either side of the road, and beyond that, fields of wheat and barley. Some farmers are already bringing in the crops, but with the hot weather we've had this summer, almost everything looks ready to be harvested. Oh, make way for the bus. I've turned left now off the road into a field that had been grassland and has recently been mowed, with all the neat lines curving round the hillside, drying in the sun. This is another little valley, similar to Ledsham Banks but smaller, again wooded on the left hand side and grassland on the right. It leads to Newfield Farm, and then the path continues straight ahead and takes you to the far western end of the Fairburn Ings reserve. I haven't got time to go there today, so when I come out of the farm entrance, I turn left down the road. It takes me back to the car park. But while I was here, I wanted to come and walk down this little valley because it's really nice, always peaceful. And there's another nature reserve that belongs to the Yorkshire Wildlife Trust down here. I've never been in because it's not actually signposted, but from looking on the map, I've kind of figured out where it is. It doesn't seem they want the public in. But come and have a look over the gate at what seems to be just a large field. It's called Mad Banks. I absolutely love the name. It's lovely now, the grass and the trees are drying out. The sun's breaking through the cloud. And I'm wishing I kind of didn't have to go to work this evening. There's a slight breeze and the wind on your face. It's like somebody gently caressing you with the softest of hands. There's just a gap in the trees and a metal gate that leads into a grassland and a steep banking between two areas of woodland. And I'm guessing that's the little nature reserve. A little bit of the soundscape, this lovely valley. Since I started the podcast, I've wanted to talk about the beneficial effects of walking on mental health, but I don't feel qualified to do it other than relate my own experiences and how I feel when I'm out walking myself. Cynics might say that it's fashionable to have anxiety and mental health issues. Maybe those are old-fashioned attitudes. That's certainly how it was when I was growing up and in my working life. What I do know is that this morning, when I eventually set off walking, it was as if I could feel the power within the earth. Every step that I took in those damp and warm conditions made me feel better, made me feel invigorated. There's nothing like it. I was talking to someone last night and I was talking about some plans I have for November to go to the Outer Hebrides. And I was just trying to explain what I felt when I was standing on a Scottish beach on a windswept afternoon, staring out into the wild Atlantic, as if I'm the only person on the planet at that moment, with not a single care or problem in the world. And it's that feeling that recharges me and keeps me going through difficult times. But even a short excursion like today does amazing things to me as an individual. And I hope now and in future podcasts, by talking about it, that it might help others. There was a short, sharp climb up out of the valley, and Newfield Farm is in front of me. I'll walk down the farm track, left onto the road, and back to the car. So I think I'll finish today's podcast. If you did enjoy today's episode, please tell your friends about it. But for now, cheerio.